Hey, hi there, people, my lovelies. I think it's Saturday today, but at the moment, I never know what bloody day of the week it is. It's just one blends into another. But hope you're all safe and well. Thought I'd just jump on here quickly and have a bit of a rant about a couple of things that have been happening recently. I'm going to start with the obvious one. Donald Trump telling people to inject Dettol into their systems to cure the coronavirus or drink bleach. Um, Words fail me. Well, they don't actually. The guy's a fucking moron. But the problem is that he's going to say these things, and a lot of us are sitting here laughing at it and making jokes about it. However, someone is going to take him seriously and probably do it, and we're going to hear about people injuring themselves, possibly killing themselves from doing this. I can't believe he's the president of the United States, and he has advisors like Boris Johnson has advisors, and he has a cabinet. I'm pretty certain the president of the United States has like their version of the cabinet behind him. Now, who doesn't talk to him before he goes out in front of a camera and says to him, what do you think you're going to say today, Donald? And he goes, oh, well, I think I'm going to tell people to inject themselves with Dettol. Isn't there someone who then steps in and goes, do you know what? If you do that, you're a fucking idiot. Don't do that. You can't say that to people. Isn't there anyone who kind of censors what he says first, has a look over what he intends to say first? Or does he just walk out there in front of a camera and they just don't know what he's going to say and he just blurts out absolute bollocks that he's just said the other day? I couldn't believe it when I heard it. And I know we're laughing about it, but there is a serious side to this that people will think in America. We know that some of the people in America aren't the sharpest tools in the toolbox. They'll listen and think, well, if the President of the United States thinks that that's a thing to do, then I'm going to damn well do it. So, we get all these people jumping on over here saying how inept our government is in dealing with this current crisis and how bad Boris is and how bad Matt Hancock is and all the other people in the cabinet. We ain't fucking dealing with people telling us to inject bleach into our systems. Fair enough, there might be some errors they've made, but then people are going to make errors dealing with something like this because we've never done anything like this to ever deal with before. So, it's a learning curve. Okay, they could have jumped in a bit earlier, but then you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If they'd have jumped in far too early, people would have gone, oh, we had this for far too long, we could have waited and waited and waited. Then we got people saying, oh no, we waited too long. There is no kind of set way that you deal with something like this. You can't watch what other countries do because other countries have a completely different demographic than we do. You can look to them for guidance, but you're not going to look to them and copy exactly what another country does. But thankfully, we don't have fucking idiots in charge like America has with Trump and his administration, advising people to take to the streets and protest their local governor to tell them to unlock everything because it is causing too much problem financially. At the end of the day, I'm quite glad that we're doing what we're doing over here. Yes, it's a pain in the arse. Yes, it's heartbreaking not being able to see your friends and your family and stuff like that. But there's a means to why we're doing this, is that we will all get through this. Hopefully, we won't have a big explosion and even more people dying than already have. And there's already been a huge amount of people that have died from this. However, we're doing this to try and kind of make it so we're not in the state that the Americans are in, where their kind of graph is kind of shooting up like that, and ours is kind of plateauing out. And yeah, it's still horrendous that we're having hundreds and hundreds of people dying each day, but it could be a worse state of affairs if we completely fucking ignored it and didn't do anything about it. Bearing in mind that, I can't understand these journalists that ask the questions after the briefing. Now, all I can think of is that they put their questions forward before they've heard whoever's coming out and doing the briefing speak. Because if they don't, then these people are fucking morons, because they ask questions that have already been answered in the speech that's just been made. So I can guarantee at least someone will pop up from either Sky or BBC or ITV, and will ask the same question about what's the actual date that we're going to finish lockdown? What's the actual date that everything's going to go back to normal? No one fucking knows. No one knows. The medical experts don't know. No one knows, because it all depends. It's a virus we're dealing with, so it's all the case of in the hands of science and nature. So no one's got an actual date and says, oh, well, it's going to be May the 17th. By May the 17th, no one knows. So don't keep asking the same fucking question all the time. There is no date. Stop asking the question. Ask stuff that maybe we do want to know because we can't ask it ourselves. But no, these people want their 5 minutes of fame, and they want to, and it's just the way they talk in these bloody briefings afterwards, the way they kind of sit forward and kind of go, oh yes, and I want to, you know, all full of their own self-importance and asking questions that are completely irrelevant, but they just want their 5 minutes of fame on the TV. Well, then I'd sooner them not ask any questions at all, because what they're asking, we don't need to know, because it's pointless. They're asking questions about things that have already been answered. So maybe do away with it, or maybe say to them, hear the speech first. If you've got any questions, then ask. Don't ask questions if it's already been mentioned. And maybe say to them, if it's already been mentioned in the briefing, please don't ask the question again, because to be honest, it just pisses people off. You know, I sit there, I watch the first 20 minutes because I just want to be kept up to date. I don't want to bombard myself with news. I know there's some people that sit there all day, all night, watching every single update about this thing. To be honest, it does my head in hearing about it far too much. So I just watch the briefing at 5 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock, if there's nothing on at 10 o'clock, I'll watch a bit of the 10 o'clock news just to keep myself up to date. I don't sit and watch all these panorama documentaries about how horrible things are, because all it does is just makes things worse. I don't know why we have to have in between the news even more programs about the same thing. We know what the situation is. We know it's not very good. We know that we've all got to stay indoors. I know there are some people that don't listen and don't understand it, but you're preaching to the people that are absolute dickheads anyway. So the more programs you put on the TV saying about how bad it is, it's not going to sink through to these people that don't understand, because they don't understand. The other thing I saw this week was the whole thing with Turkey sending us kind of like the PPE, and it was very much like a trip to a drive-through McDonald's, that they ordered what they wanted, wasn't brought out to them straight away, had to go away and wait somewhere, then they were made to wait an extraordinarily long length of time. Then they were given it to them all wrapped up, similar to like McDonald's. It's given to you in a brown paper bag in the drive-through. You want to get out as quick as you can. Then by the time you get home, you open the bag up, and what you want ain't fucking there. Exactly the same thing happened with us with this PPE. We were promised 400,000 items of PPE. The Turks said that they were going to fly over to us. Then they changed their mind, so we had to then go and pick it up from them. Then they left the RAF stood on a landing strip for 24 hours, not telling them what the hell was going on. Then they loaded it all up, wouldn't let them check what they were loading, waved them off on their way, and then by the time we got back to this country, we opened it up, and it's nothing like what we paid for. So we've been mugged off again, like we've been mugged off by the Chinese. The Chinese keep saying that they're sending us this PPE, and when we open it up, it's not what we ordered, or what we've actually been delivered isn't compliant to safety standards, and it's too dangerous to use, so it's got to be binned. So we're being ripped off by the Chinese, who, how can I word this? It could be them directly that caused this whole problem to start with. They're now deciding to rip people off and charge extortionate amounts of money to make substandard PPE, and by the time it hits this country, there's nothing we can do about it. We've already paid for it, it's already hit our shores, and it's crap. And from what I've read, we've had to throw away thousands and thousands of items of PPE from China, because they're just crap, they're poorly made, and they won't protect people. So you get, it's all very well saying we haven't got enough PPE. The problem is we're being mugged off by countries around the world that are saying they're going to help us and they don't, or they say they have helped us, and by the time we unwrap it, it's an absolute load of shit. So it is like a drive-through McDonald's. You order a Big Mac, fries, and an apple pie. When you get home, you open it up, and it's a quarter pounder with cheese, a donut, and a kid's Happy Meal, and it's nothing like what you've ordered. But you don't want to turn around and go, oh, you know what? I've driven all this way, I'm not going to drive all the way back. It's the same thing with the RAF. They're not going to fly all the way back to Turkey and say, hang about, we bought this from you and it's shit, or it ain't what we asked for. So what we need to do is we need to remember these countries that have mugged us off, and then when all this goes back to normal, we get our own back. Then we kind of say to them, oh really, you need our help, do you? Well, jog on, because you ripped us off during the pandemic, and you told us you were going to give us this, and you gave us something completely different, or you gave us a load of crap. I think the whole world need to take action against China, because how can I word this? It's not 100% that it's where the pandemic and the virus originated from, but there's a high chance that it did originate in China, and there's a high chance that they've lied about their figures of how many people have died from it. It's a high chance that they lied and kept it quiet for far too long, when they could have let the world know earlier, and we could have been a lot more prepared for it. But that's the kind of nation they are. They don't like to give too much away. So we need to they do need to face some kind of punishment or some kind of sanctions against them at the end of this, because what they've done and what they've caused worldwide, and they could have told us about it a lot sooner. Apparently, from what I've read, they could have even been experiencing people with symptoms kind of late October, early November last year, and they didn't think to tell anyone until just after Christmas. So something needs to be done with them, most definitely. I have to kind of despair at people criticising the big night in that was on Thursday night, the charity event, the joint event between Comic Relief and Children in Need. People criticising it and saying it was boring and it weren't as good as other ones, and what a complete waste of time it was, and they weren't entertained by it. Right, let's put things in perspective. We're in lockdown at the moment. We've got social distancing. They put this thing together literally in like a couple of weeks. You can't have it like a big event like Children in Need and Comic Relief, because you can't have a whole studio audience. So they had to kind of social distance in the studio. It was all very much done as best as they could in the time that they had. I thought some of the things that they did with comedians and artists doing stuff in their own home, I thought, considering how long they had, I thought it was quite good. I thought it was quite entertaining. They raised 28 million quid out of it, which ain't bad. And then the government are going to match that. So it's like 56 million quid made from a 3-hour TV programme. I think that's good going. I think they should be praised for this. I don't think people should be going, well, I wasn't entertained enough. Well, what were your other options then? What else was going to be on instead? Fucking EastEnders, the most depressing, boring programme on the planet, or moaning Northerners in Coronation Street. What I don't understand is, we had a couple of weeks ago people in mourning saying that because they've had to stop filming the soap operas because of social distancing, that eventually they're going to run out of episodes and they won't be able to show it. Well, the fucking things are still on now. So why haven't we run out yet? I'm personally looking forward to the day that we run out of episodes of soap operas to show. And let's put some stuff on that's a bit uplifting. Let's put some stuff on that's a bit fun. Let's put some classic sitcoms on. Let's put some cartoons on. Let's put stuff on that we don't normally have on at 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, just to kind of lighten the mood. Because all we get on soap operas is someone's killed someone, someone's dying, someone's this, someone's that, someone's being horrible to their missus. We don't want to see misery at the moment. We've got enough misery in real life. We want some, a bit of escapism. We want something that's going to make us happy and cheer us up. So I think personally, take the soaps off now and put things on in their place completely different. Put things on that are a bit light-hearted. Put things on that people like. Maybe take a vote. Have the nation vote. Vote for what programme the nation would love to see brought back on TV to replace the soaps. Put it to the vote. And I guarantee it won't be, oh, well, no, we want the soaps instead. Most people will go, do you know what? How about this classic sitcom? How about old episodes of this? How about reruns of certain other programmes? Even stick cartoons on. The old school cartoons from when, back in like the 70s and the 80s and something like that. I kind of sat there the other night and thought, if I could plan my ideal kind of TV day, what I would put on. And it was quite funny thinking of programs. Oh, I remember that. I remember that. I'm going to try and put one together and get it all typed up and stick it online. And then everyone else have a go at planning their ideal TV schedule for the day, starting with what you want to see in the morning, what you want to see at lunchtime, what you want to see early evening, what you want to see prime time at night, and what you'd like to see going on through the night. Uh, and it'd be quite interesting to see what people, if they had the choice to put certain things on TV instead of the garbage that's still being shown now, what we would go for. Talking of excellent TV to watch, can't recommend season 2 of Afterlife highly enough. Um, Season 1 was brilliant, everyone kind of just loved it. Season 2 pretty much carries on from where the last one left off, and there are moments that you are just literally laughing out loud with your chest aching from laughing. But then Ricky Gervais, the genius that he is, balances it out where you're sitting there and it's really emotional. And it's that balance, the way he manages to balance with everything that he's ever done, balancing happy with sad. So, like with Derek and things like that, balancing absolute laugh out loud and cringe-worthy moments to moments where you're sitting there and you're kind of tearing up a little bit. And it's the same with Afterlife too. I'm not going to lie, some of it is quite emotional, but it's well worth it. I intended to just jump on and watch like a couple of episodes and kind of eke it out over the weekend. And I watched it all in one go. I just sat and watched 6 episodes, bang, 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 one after the other. Completely and utterly recommend it. Uh, Apart from that, I don't think I've got much else really to talk about. Hope everyone, I say, is staying healthy, staying safe, staying indoors. Um, Again, if you do jump on the YouTube channel to watch this, give it a like, subscribe, post some ideas on the Rich T Facebook page of anything you want me to rant about, even kind of swap ideas about the ultimate TV schedule, your ultimate best TV schedule you could think of. Come forward with that. I posted a thing online yesterday. Uh, normally these surveys on Facebook and these things where you get your friends involved drive me mad. But one last night to do with Disney characters had me in stitches, just for the fact of it was just one of these random things. There was a list of Disney characters, and you just literally, it's one of these ones where you put the at sign and then the first letter of the character, and it goes through your address list and gives you names at random, and that's the person allocated. And some of the Disney characters that were allocated to some of the people I know were absolute classic. And there was there was like literally like dozens upon dozens of responses back of people laughing, people going, I don't like this about me, people saying, yeah, that's me to a T. And normally these things drive me out and I normally can't be bothered with them. But at a time like this, to see so many people laughing about it, I literally was sitting there laughing for about an hour afterwards at all the responses that were coming back and people saying, yes, that's me, or no, that's not. So when they do get sent to you in your inbox, I know normally you kind of think, oh, bollocks to this. Don't have a go at doing it. Seriously, do one, pass it on. Because at the moment, we need the simple things that make you laugh. And little something like that was completely simple. It weren't, a stroke of comic genius, but it made me laugh and it had other people laughing and making comments. So if you do get past these things of if your ultimate drinking gang or the Disney one from yesterday or anything similar where it gets the people in your Facebook address book involved, go for it. Just do it because it does kind of lighten the mood. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Hope you've enjoyed this. As I say, I can't stress enough. Stay safe, stay healthy. We will get through this, and then once we've all got through this, I'm still going to carry on moaning and groaning in front of the camera, but I'll have other things to groan about other than coronavirus, which will be good. So anyway, stay safe and peace out, my lovelies.